Hello and welcome to another Fun Going Fast video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment if you like these videos. That helps me and helps with the old YouTube algorithm. And today we are looking at my new Yamaha Raptor 700R, and we're going to talk about 5 reasons not to buy a Yamaha Raptor 700R. Although I had a really hard time coming up with this list, to be honest. This is by far my most favorite and fun four-wheeler that I've ever owned, and I've actually sold most of my other ATVs to keep this one because it's the only one I care to ride. So I had to kind of dig deep with this list, but I did think of 5 things that are kind of chinks in the armor. Reason number 1 is that these things are very expensive. So the list price from the factory is $10,000. You're looking at the dealer fees added on, that could be $600 or $700 plus sales tax depending on your state. So you're looking at $11,000 to $12,000 out the door on a brand new Yamaha Raptor 700R, and that's a lot of money, especially for a machine that only can be ridden off-road and only one human on it. So there's nothing around that. I know they've got fuel injection and all that, but these things are really expensive. So if you can afford it, great, but this is a pricey machine. So that's reason number 1 on a new one. Reason number 2, with that expense, and I talked about this with the YFC, is we still have the same cheap plastics that have always been on these things since they came out in the 80s. I'm not sure what you could do differently, but it's really unfortunate to have something that you spend almost 12 grand on, made to go outside in the woods, and then like right here you can see just any little mark, a branch catches it wrong and you've got scratches, streak marks. If you don't lift your foot up high enough, it's easy to scuff it, and this thing's only been on 3 or 4 rides. It's already starting to get the white streak marks. This is called the Yamaha Deep Purplish Blue, and if you wash it in anything under 70-degree temperature, Yamaha loves to do these white streak marks. This is my 4th ATV in this color, and over time it'll just develop all these white spots across the plastic. So it doesn't do that with the other colors. They do white, although I don't understand why you would want white on an off-road machine, or the yellow and black SEs. But on the blue, which is my favorite color, they always streak, which is really annoying. So that's reason number 2. Reason number 3, again, kind of nitpicking a little bit, but it has a really long clutch throw. I had a Henson clutch on my 09, so it wasn't that bad, but for a sport quad, that's a really long reach to kind of shift gears quickly. My YFC 450, you know, they have those amazing slipper clutches. They start about right here and are super light pressure, so if they could figure out how to get the slipper clutch on this, that would be amazing. So that's reason number 3. Reason number 4 is the handling on these things. If you're doing reasonable speed, it does okay, but if you get into really tight turns and really trying to turn fast, maybe on a motocross track or a tight trail, these things can get tippy fast and they can be a little bit top heavy. They're not quite as bad as the 660s used to be, but there are still plenty of videos on YouTube of people rolling over. And on my 09, you can fix this. My 09 had an extended rear axle. It was 2 inches wider, and it completely transformed the way it handled, and I'll be putting one of those on this one. But without it, or without extended front A-arms, you have to really kind of watch it if riding aggressively, because it will tip on you. And then reason number 5, again, I'm kind of nitpicking, but the exhaust sound on these things from the factory. I'll start it up here. It's a pretty neutral, kind of wimpy sounding exhaust sound from the factory. Of course, you can put any kind of a host of different aftermarket exhausts which make it sound much more aggressive, but they're almost, some of them are too loud. It'd be nice to have something kind of in the middle, kind of like Scrambler, the Polaris Scrambler 850. They did an amazing job from the factory. It has a nice aggressive tone, but it's not too loud. So I may change out the exhaust at some point. That's a pretty neutral sounding exhaust, considering this is the fastest manual sport, you know, clutch four-wheeler made. So that's kind of an interesting decision Yamaha made there, to not make it a little bit more of an aggressive sound from the factory. But overall, these are amazing, really fun ATVs, and I can't fault them. But those are 5 reasons that I found that are weaknesses or challenges on this four-wheeler. Thanks for watching.